You've been looking at the wrong evidence. The horizon doesn't curve. It stays flat right up until your eyes give out.
Think the incredible. But I stood on top of Everest. Wouldn't the ground slope away from me?
What you just heard isn't a voice actor. It's AI generating an entire dialogue, featuring 2 different characters, authentic emotions, and 0 manual editing. There is a tool that runs for free right on your own machine and does something no other tool can. It's called Dramabox. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to use it, complete with real-world examples and the tips and tricks I discovered while testing out. Okay, without any further ado, let's get started. Today we're going to explore a powerful text-to-speech generator called Dramabox. This tool is built on top of the LTX 2.3 model architecture, which many of you probably already know from my previous videos about video generation. Let me take you over to the GitHub page where we can see the complete technical description of this model. Here they outline all the specifications, capabilities, and the underlying architecture that makes Dramabox work. Looking at the official system requirements, they state that you need a GPU with 24 GB of VRAM and 17 GB of free hard drive space to run this smoothly. Now, those numbers might sound intimidating if you're working with consumer-grade hardware. However, I want to share something important with you. I'm actually running it with a graphics card that has only 12 GB of VRAM, and it works perfectly fine. When it comes to storage and download size, let me break down the numbers for you. The core model itself weighs in at about 6.6 GB. On top of that, you have additional components that add another 1.9 GB, and then there are the text encoders, which take up approximately 8 GB. If you're doing the math, that gives you a total of roughly 20 GB if you decide to download everything manually and set it up yourself. Now, to install Dramabox on your system, we're going to use a platform called Pinocchio. If you've been following my channel, you've probably seen Pinocchio in several of my previous tutorials. It's essentially an app store specifically designed for open source artificial intelligence applications. One of the features I really appreciate about Pinocchio is the filtering system. You can filter the available applications by your operating system platform, whether that's Windows, Mac, or Linux, and you can also filter by GPU type. The specific program we're going to use today to run Dramabox is called 12GP. I've covered this extensively in my previous videos, and it's become one of my go-to tools for running AI models locally. Before we dive into the actual interface, the first thing I always recommend doing when you open 12GP is clicking the update button that you'll find at the top of the application window. This is an important step that a lot of people skip. What this update process does is download all the latest dependencies, install any new plugins that have been released, and most importantly, it refreshes the list of available models so you can see everything that's currently available. For all the examples and demonstrations I'm showing you today, I want to be transparent about my hardware setup. I'm using an RTX 3080 graphics card with 12 GB of VRAM. I think it's important to mention this because when I show you generation times and performance metrics, you'll want to keep in mind that your results may vary depending on what GPU you're working with. Starting with version 7 of Pinocchio, they added a really useful feature that I want to point out. You can now see the total size of the installation folder for each application right in the interface. As you can see on my screen right now, this particular 12GP installation is taking up 492 GB of space. Once the plugins have finished loading, you'll see a progress indicator at the bottom of the screen. We can open the main interface by clicking the button that says Open Web UI. This will launch the web-based interface in your default browser. Inside the interface, you'll immediately see a comprehensive list of all the available models organized into different categories. The organization makes it really easy to find what you're looking for. What we want to do now is scroll down to the section labeled TTS, which stands for text-to-speech. This is where you'll find all the voice generation tools that are included and available for use within 12GP. I've already covered Chatterbox TTS in a previous tutorial, which is a solid option for basic voice generation. There's also 13 TTS, which has actually become my personal favorite for certain types of projects because of its voice quality and consistency. But today, the star of the show is Dramabox, which you can see right here in the list. When you select Dramabox, it opens within what's called a Gradio interface. The interface layout is pretty intuitive. At the top, you have a large text box where you can write or paste the text that you want to convert into speech. Below that, you'll find options to configure a reference voice if you want to clone someone's voice, or you can even provide two separate reference voices if you're trying to simulate a realistic dialogue between two different people. This dual voice capability is particularly useful for creating podcast-style content or fictional conversations. If we scroll down a little bit, first, you'll notice there's a Write tab and a Sync tab at the top of the Options panel. For now, let's leave the Write tab disabled. We can explore that in more detail in a moment. Right below that, there's something called the Auto Duration Multiplier, which you'll see is set to 1.1 by default. Essentially, it determines whether your audio clips have a bit of silence at the beginning and end, or whether they start and stop more abruptly. There's also a duration field measured in seconds. If you leave this value at 0, which is what I recommend for most users, the model will automatically determine the appropriate duration based on the length and complexity of your input text. Now, let's dive into the advanced mode section, which is where you get really granular control over the generation process. Inside the General tab within advanced mode, the first thing you'll encounter is the seed setting, which is set to -1 by default. There's also a setting called Guidance Rescale, which is set to 0 by default. This is a more advanced parameter that controls how strictly the model follows your input parameters, versus allowing for creative interpretation. Now, here's where Dramabox really shines and separates itself from other text-to-speech generators. One of the most outstanding and unique features is the negative prompt capability. This is something I haven't seen in most other TTS tools, and it's borrowed from the world of image generation where negative prompts are commonly used. The negative prompt allows you to explicitly specify characteristics and qualities that you don't want to appear in your generated audio. It's not just about telling the AI what you want, you're also telling it what to avoid. You can edit this list to add or remove terms based on your specific needs. Moving down the interface, there's also a field where you can specify the number of output files you want to generate in a single batch. This is particularly useful if you want to generate multiple variations to choose from. There are 3 different processing modes for how the model handles your input text. The first option treats each individual line of your prompt as a separate audio file. The second option converts each paragraph into its own separate file. The third option combines all your lines and paragraphs into a single unified output file. Another convenient feature is the ability to save your entire configuration as a JSON file. You can also upload a previously saved configuration as a zip file. There's also a LoRa field that appears empty by default. For those familiar with LoRa training, this field can be used to apply additional fine-tuning adjustments to the voice style and characteristics. Finally, at the very top of the prompt field, there's a checkbox option to automatically remove unexpected words and filler words from your input text. This is particularly useful when you're working with transcriptions from real speech or pasting in unedited spoken content that might have a lot of ums, us, you knows, and other verbal fillers.
And before we continue, if you generate video, audio, or even cloning your own voice with AI, I have some discounts at the description of this video. So check it out and save some money on your subscriptions. Okay, let's continue.
All right, let's run our first practical example using the reference prompt that comes built into Dramabox by default. Here we have the
Looking
result.
at the wrong evidence. The horizon doesn't curve. It stays flat right up until your eyes give out.
But if I stood on top of Everest, wouldn't the ground slope away from me? That's how gravity works.
Gravity is just a trick of the light.
Wow, that's incredible quality. The voices sound natural, the pacing is excellent, and the clarity is really impressive. As you just heard in that example, Dramabox has full support for generating two distinct voices simultaneously. This dual voice capability is handled seamlessly within the same generation process, and the model does an excellent job of making each voice sound distinct and believable. Another major advantage that Dramabox offers, which sets it apart from many competing tools, is the ability to include emotion tags and directive commands directly within your prompt text. For example, you can insert tags like haha, question, or doubt right into your script, and the AI will interpret those and adjust the vocal delivery accordingly. Now let's try a different version of this test, but this time using a custom reference voice that I've prepared. I have a reference audio file ready to go.
What is it really like
To keep this demonstration moving and avoid making you wait too long for the generation to complete, I'm going to trim down the prompt text to something shorter. Alright, let's click generate and see what happens. The generation just completed. That took 58 seconds from start to finish, and now we have our result ready to
You've
examine.
been looking at the wrong evidence. The horizon doesn't curve, it stays flat right up until your eyes give out.
The quality here is really impressive. This output was generated by cloning the English reference voice I provided. Now, let's switch gears and try the same type of test, but this time we're going to work in Spanish instead of English. And then we'll click generate to see what we get.
¿Sabías que en China los días festivos tienen un precio oculto que nadie te cuenta antes de llegar? Existe un sistema llamado Tiaoshu. El gobierno te regala días libres entre semana, pero te obliga a trabajar el sábado y el domingo para compensar. El resultado es un sábado que se siente como un lunes frenético, con el metro a reventar y las oficinas a máxima potencia en Shanghai.
Now, let's take this experiment one step further and do the exact same test. I have a reference audio clip ready where I'm speaking in Spanish.
Un papá nahuatl viviendo en Shanghai y llevo tiempo redescubriendo esta ciudad con otros ojos. Olvídate del ruido. Aquí la calma se busca de otra manera. Acompáñame a ver cómo es un feriado real en China.
We're going to use exactly the same Spanish text that we used in the previous test. Paste in the text again and click Generate. The generation has finished processing. Here we have the result ready to listen to.
¿Sabías que en China los días festivos tienen un precio oculto que nadie te cuenta antes de llegar? Existe un sistema llamado Tiaoshu. El gobierno te regala días libres entre semana, pero te obliga a trabajar el sábado y el domingo para compensar. El resultado es un sábado que se siente como un lunes frenético, con el metro a reventar y las oficinas a máxima potencia en Shanghai.
This result took 1 minute and 39 seconds to generate, which is actually faster than the generic voice version we did before. That's an interesting data point. However, speed isn't everything. We also need to evaluate the quality. Listening to this output carefully, I can hear that there are some noticeable intonation problems scattered throughout. Certain words and syllables don't sound entirely natural or fluent. There are places where the emphasis is slightly off. This brings us to what I consider to be the main limitation I've observed with Dramabox through my testing. What I found is that Dramabox produces exceptionally good results with the generic voices when you're working in English. And since it's open source and actively being developed, I'm optimistic that these issues will be addressed as the model continues to evolve.
Okay, and that's it for this video. If you like it, please thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, activate the bell so you get notifications on my new videos. Send me your comments if you want me to talk about any specific model. I will be more than happy to help. And if you made it this far, I invite you to watch this other video on how to refocus your videos using AI for free. Click here to watch more. See you guys next time. Bye bye.